Why don't banks like financing, 10 acres of, more than 10 acres of land for a house?
Well, so first we need to step back and say, how come banks don't like to finance just raw land without a house or without a construction perm? Why do they not like raw land? And if we think of all the loans and all the debts that we have, if you had a primary mortgage, if you had a credit card, if you had utility bills, if you had student loan or whatever, they look at that, and if you had a raw land loan, if people go into a hypothermia mode and they figure out what they can pay and what they can't pay, one of the first things traditionally people don't pay would be that raw land loan. If you have to make sure everything else in your life is solid, that'd be one of the first things. So that's a higher risk. And they look at these actuary tables and they go, okay, that's a high risk loan. And after the banking crisis of 06, 05 and everything, the big banks have looked at that and said, we're not doing it. We're stepping away from that product. It's not profitable for them and it's too high risk. You can go to like a farm credit union or state employees credit union or perhaps a local bank, and if they know you and you have a lot of money with them and they know your history, they may take a risk and do a land loan for you, but it is exceedingly rare. And I get into difficult situations when people walk in here and they say, well, I have good credit. And it's not about your credit, it's about the product. So you asked, why are banks skittish of lending with a house with acreage or construction of perm with acreage? Again, those actuary tables show that those people tend to foreclose more often, and it's not a whole lot more and everything. The other problem that people need to realize is that if the lender were to foreclose on that, they have a much more difficult time in liquidating that product. So if we look, just to give you a broad example, average days on the market in the Pittsboro area right now is roughly 84 days on the market. Average tract of land in the Pittsboro area right now is about 500 days on the market. So that's a significant difference, 80 to 500. And then when we look at the in-between product, homes with acreage, depending on the value of the home and how much land it is, it's going to be somewhere in between those 80 and 500 days.